Hi, welcome to my tutorial. This is Liz from My Website Finder, where you can find your next awesome domain and create your next awesome website. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about WordPress, why WordPress is good for companies and people who have no idea about HTML or CSS or code or anything like that. But even if you do know code, it's kind of a cool content management system that can help you build a nice dynamic website or even a simple landing page. It's whatever you want. But we're doing the basics here. Now to start off, what you can do is log in to your cPanel, which I helped you set up in the previous video. And you can do, here's one way, is go to your My Website Finder homepage and then just sign in. And once you sign in, go to My Products, which will be up here in the dashboard. And you'll see a list of products depending on what you have. Domain, web hosting, emails, SSL certificates. The list can go on and on. You may just have domain and web hosting, or it can be anything that you've bought from the store. So what you have to do is go to web hosting and manage all. And go to settings. Once you're in settings, you will see all the information about your cPanel, including your login and your password. Now click on cPanel Admin, and voila, you have your cPanel. Now, as I stated in the previous video, don't be overwhelmed by this. We're going to go through some of these things, and some of these things you're not going to understand unless you're a developer, and that's fine. You don't need that in order to, create or work on your WordPress. So the last time I helped you set up the WordPress here in cPanel, so you should have your website name here where it says My Applications. So click on that. It's a lot of clicking. I'm going to show you an easier way to do this. So we finally get to your website, right? And you have these links. The one that you'll need is the one in the middle. So to log into your WordPress is simple. You don't need to go through what I just showed you. You can simply put the name, your URL name. So in my case, it's mywebsitefinder.net, and you're going to backslash. And after the backslash, you type in WP-admin. And then you click on that, and it'll take you to your WordPress, to the back end of your WordPress. Now you're going to say, well, what's my username and password? Your username and your password. That's it. And this is how, you can change that if you want. But if you go through the steps that I just showed you, you just click on that and it will automatically log you in. So here it is. This is the back end of WordPress. And again, it looks a little overwhelming, but once you kind of get used to it, you'll start understanding everything. Now this is the dashboard part, and it basically just a little dashboard. From here you can, write a quick draft, look at some neat WordPress news. It tells you if you published anything, What I really concentrate is on this side menu right here. So we're going to start from the top, and I'm just going to do a run through of all of these. And then the next tutorial, we'll talk about posts. And then we'll just go through. And so you will have an idea of how to use WordPress. Now, again, this is the back end. If you want to see what the website looks like, up here, visit site, and you see what the site looks like. Again, this was just a template that we downloaded. So we're going to have to work from the template and build our own site to reflect our brand, our company, our blog. If you want to go back to the dashboard, it's right here. And this is important. Right here it says updates, and you see the little number 3. It's important to always make sure that your WordPress is updated, because that is critical. These can be critical updates. You don't want to have your WordPress, your site outdated, because there could be, updates that have to do with security, new features and things like that. And if you don't update, some things might actually break. So here, let's just go through this. You don't want your site to break. That's like the worst. So here's some updates. Select all. We'll talk about plugins in a minute. And updates complete. And you see that there's one more update. This is updating the theme. Okay, your updates have been complete, so now you're cool. Next on the list is posts. A post is exactly what it means, a post. So it can be, typically a post is a news item, a blog post, current information. And a post is something that's kind of constant. Most people have posts when they're bloggers. If you have a company, let's say you're a doctor and you're running your own practice. Maybe you have a little blog section where you update when you update, for example, what's going on with COVID-19 right now, you can update on, either tips of how to stay safe or information about your practice. Anything like that can be done in a blog post or in a post. So usually when you start off from 0, there's usually like a post already there. It just helps you, gives you an example of what it would look like on the back end. So this would be the title. And when you write the title here, notice that it's going to be in your link. It's going to be your website and then the name of the post. And this is where you write, this is the area where you put all your text, and we'll go through that in another video. But you have so many options. There are all these little widgets and things that you can add to make your posts really dynamic and engaging. And we're also going to go through SEO tools that you can use so that search engines can pull your information and it's easily accessible through like Google or whatever search engines are out there. So that's a blog post, and we'll talk about that in another video. Blog posts can be categorized, and this is also good for SEO purposes. I highly recommend that especially if you're a blogger or you have some kind of news outlet, I highly recommend categories, because that'll help search engines sort out your information as well as your customers or readers. So for example, if you are a a news film organization, you would probably want to categorize all your information from like foreign films to comedies to dramas, movie reviews, videos, like the sky's the limit. This is where this is very helpful. And not only for SEO purposes, but just for your readers to find the information. Tags. Tags is another way you can help your readers or your audience find information. So these little tags you put in each post, and they're just quick little tags, like say you're writing about, you're doing an article about Marilyn Monroe. So you would tag the article exactly like you would tag for SEO. So you would tag, of course, Marilyn Monroe, classic movie stars, maybe the name of one of her films. If it's like an anniversary or something, like anniversary post or something, this again, it's up to you how you tag, but you always have to keep in mind that these tools are for your audience to easily find information. So we go to media, and media simply is where all your photos, videos, and audio are stored. Now, you will have a limit on how much you can upload. I'll give you an example. So here it says maximum upload file size, 32 megabytes. Now, in another video, I am going to show you how to increase this. There are ways that you can increase this, especially if you have little videos or audio. There is a way. But right now, like this one says 32 megabytes, so pretty much it's videos, maybe short audio clips. And you can upload videos one of two ways. You can select files, or you can drag and drop. Pages. Now, pages are different from posts because the pages are information to your website, so that mostly they stay stagnant, they're constant, they're grounded. So I'm surprised that's not in here, but usually there's like an about me page, and that's the page obviously that says about the, oh, well, here it is. About the company. Yeah. So I just added as an example. And another neat thing you can do is you can choose one of these pages to make as your home page. And let's see how they did it here. So here they created this page, and this is the home page, and they set it up to where this is the home page. So this is what you would, you set up a little home page. You create this dynamic, cool, depending on your templates. See, there's thousands and thousands of templates, and each of them have their different ways of creating your website. So it really just depends on the template. Like this is good because you can create the home page, and it looks very dynamic and bright, but it's actually pretty simple. And so here's one, and this is good because you always need to have a private policy. And what you would do is, if you have a lawyer or you have somebody, if you're a bigger business, you'd have somebody kind of look and make sure that everything on your website dots all the I's and crosses all the T's so that you are covered and don't have any issues. But the good thing is most of these templates have one. And so you can just go in and cater it to your company or your blog. And those are pages. Comments, obviously, when people comment, you'll see that here. and you can go through and set it up to where you monitor the comments, because a lot of times you'll get spam. And you can just go through and approve. Appearance is where you can, if you don't like the theme that you currently have, you can pick a new theme, change it up. Once you download the theme, there's this little customization thing, and it shows you kind of real time. And there's all kinds of options for like colors, the footer. The footer is the thing at the bottom of the page. It says your copyright information. Some of these, like this one's cool because it has social media. You just put all your accounts on there and look. Menus. We'll go over menus. Homepage settings. See how this is set to home? If it was set to, see, let's talk, that would be your homepage. Or blog. Oh, that looks like the other one. Oh, this is kind of cool too. But there's the designated homepage. Now, if you do know CCS or HTML or CSS, I think I said CSS, you can do that here to do any tweaks. Once you update it, you publish. You can X out of that. There's also menus, and menus are the menus. They're the ones that, this doesn't have menus, so never does it. We'll talk about menus in another, but I'll show you menu on, here's an example of a menu. These are your menus. So you have your menus within menus within menus. These little drop downs. That's a menu. This is a menu. This would be another menu, be like a footer menu. Backgrounds, theme editors. These are again things that have to do with the appearance of the site. Plugins. Now plugins are really cool because they allow you to add things to your website that makes it really dynamic, and that really helps make your website, you know, a go-to place. For example, if you want to add a shopping cart, here's a way you can set that up. It's through a plugin. So you have different options of shopping carts. You can do like a PayPal thing. Now let's say you wanted to have a directory on your site. There are little plugins that can set up a directory, like this one. I'll show you little screenshots. This is here is a cool example because that's, you know, if you're in real estate, look at that. So the plugins are free. You don't have to, for the most part. I don't think I've ever, you know, I've been doing this for 15 years. I don't think I've ever downloaded a plugin that I had to pay for. So, oh, let's see, video. Here's one with Zoom. So you can have your own plugin on a website. If you're a company that relies heavily on these tools like Zoom, you can have it right in your site so your clients don't have to do anything. They just go to that page and it helps set them up for your Zoom. I mean, the sky is the limit. I definitely recommend looking through plugins and seeing like what would be good for your website. Now here's some kind of setting ones. Now the users are people will probably subscribe to your website and you'll have them here. See, like this is the one for this site for me as an admin. And you'll see you can write your name. You can have your name displayed as like your name, your nickname. Tools, various tools that we will go over. Here's one you can actually, if you have another website that you'd like to import into your site, like if you have another WordPress and you changed the domain name and you want to install, you can do that here. Export, this is a lifesaver because if you have built this beautiful WordPress site and I don't know, something happens, the world crashes, this is a backup option. So you can export the file. And so if anything happens, if your site crashes and everything disappears, you have that file of all the information and you can just go back, plug it back in, and it's all there. And there are other things here too we'll go over. Settings, the general settings, you have the title, tagline, if you want to change your administration address, new user default role, I'd suggest subscriber because you're the administrator. You don't want to give anybody control unless they're an editor, contributor. There's different levels. Your language, date format, title format. You can dictate blog pages show at most, how many posts you want, what you want your RSS feed. We'll go over all that. This is where you set up your media. And this is helpful if you have people contributing to your site. It gives them limits of what they can upload. Now, you always want your permalinks. That's the link to your posts and your pages. You always want it to have the post name. That's good for SEO purposes. And that looks like it's it. The next video will be a lot shorter and we'll go over a little bit more about WordPress, about how to create a post and put up some cool pictures and videos and things like that. All right, thank you so much.